Hello and welcome to the Quizlet Teacher's Guide. And this guide will walk you through a couple of different things as far as the functions of the Quizlet site. It will teach you how to go ahead and create your own vocabulary lists, how to find others and then also manipulate those lists and make them your own, how to go ahead and utilize this as both a study tool and even a practice testing site. Um, Quizlet is available at Quizlet.com, and it also has an app for both iPhone and Android devices, and it's free. It was all of the content on Quizlet is user generated, so it's generated by teachers and students. So the first thing that I would do is I would sign up where it says sign up for free. You can sign up with your Google accounts or your Facebook accounts, or you can just put in an email address and a password here. I've never had problems with Quizlet emailing me anything weird. And then I would just then go ahead and log in and create after you've created the account. The reason why you create an account is I'm going to go ahead and show you what mine looks like here. There we go, log in, and I'm just gonna do this. And what happens is once you've go ahead and created an account, it will bring up all of the lists that you've added to your what are called your sets. So it tells you when you added them, what are the class things, what are they called as far as the lists. Some of them I actually created, some of them I borrowed and then manipulated. And so you can see just basically a bunch of content here that I can go ahead and use. It's also cool as far as creating an account because you can create folders for your classes. So for example, I have one for my CIS Spanish 3 class. And it has their vocabulary sets here, and there's 6 lists there so that I can easily locate them and find them. One of the awesome parts of Quizlet is you can either create your own lists from scratch. I'll show you how to go ahead and you maybe have a vocabulary list that you already created in Word and how you can just import that into Quizlet. Or you can just go to somebody else's Quizlet created list and then take it and then take any of the words off or add any other words that you want to go ahead and add to their list. The first one I will show you is just basically how to create a basic list. So I'm going to say create a set. And when you press create a set, it'll bring you to this page, so create a new study set. And you put in a title here. I'm going to pretend I'm going to do one on fruits here in Spanish. I'm going to call it Spanish 1 vocabulary. And then I can even set languages here very easily. Set this one as my Spanish words and then the English equivalents here. Or for you, maybe you're going to put the word here and then the definition of the word over here. It kind of is nice when I put in these languages here because if a student wants, it can have the Quizlet sites. They can read both the word and then give them the definition to vocally out loud. So that's kind of a cool feature. I'm going to put in some fruits here, like let's start off with la piña, and that's a pineapple. And let's do manzana, apple, and one more, la naranja, and that is an orange. Cool. Alright, so I've created a list. I can create as many words as I want here. I can just continue to add rows, which just means add another vocab word if I want to. But I'm not going to, this is just an example. And I'm going to press save down here at the bottom. Okay. Once I've pressed save, it just created the list. It's already created. It's ready for me to go ahead and share with my students if I want. Or I can go ahead and it says down here, I can add or remove terms if I decide to add some more words to it. Maybe it's a list that you continue to build on throughout the year. That would be easy to do. You can add or take off any of the terms. I could edit any of the terms too. It says edit the term with a little pencil. You can listen to them actually say, or you can put your own voice recording on there. I think that's what that's for. You can listen to the audio for the term itself too, like I told you before. The little stars, I think, are for basically putting the words that need the most practice. You can study those star terms with other people. So I could right now just leave it like it is, or I could add it to a class, which is very helpful. If I added it to a class, it'd say, which one of your classes do you want to add it to? Here's the classes that I teach. Spanish 1, 2, CIS Spanish. It's an old class I used to teach, blended Spanish. And I just click on that class and it puts it into that folder. That's how easy it is. I'm not going to do that right now, just because I don't want to. This is just an example. And I'm just going to show you basically what can you do with these vocabulary words once they're in here. What can a student do? They can utilize them as flashcards.
La piña.
And so you can see we have la piña on one side, and I can click it, and now
Pineapple.
it tells me on the other side that that word means pineapple. La piña and pineapple. So let's go on to the next word here. Okay, we have manzana. Okay, I have manzana, and I can click it to see apple. And so these are just basic flashcards. Okay, I can shuffle them. I can just play them through. I can take off the audio, various different things. And this is called cards. There is a couple of different types of games on here. The most popular one is something called scatter. And basically, you get one item and you match it with the other, utilizing your mouse, or on your iPhone or iPad, utilizing your finger. So the words are going to appear here, and there's a timer going on. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can, so I'm matching the words together. So manzana's apple, and then piña's pineapple. And the kids love this. Now it says my high score is 9.6. If I set this up in a folder for my students to access, and my students created accounts, it starts creating a list of the highest scores ever. So it just continues to say, good, beat that time. Hey, it looks like whoever beat you as far as this certain time. And kids are competitive, so they like this type of thing. There are other types of games on here, but one of the other things I want to go ahead and show you is this test function. And the test function is awesome for both creating quick tests for your students, or they can create their own tests. I usually tell them, create yourself just a quick multiple choice test. I'm going to reconfigure this to all multiple choice. You can see matching or written or true and false. You can do any of these. Okay, and I can even make it start with the Spanish first if I want. Okay, and it creates me a test. In this case, there's only 3 words on there. But it'll grade it automatically. So I have naranjas, orange, pineapple, and manzana, apple. And the kids can practice this and then check their answers. It'll tell them which ones are correct. Or if they got something wrong, it'll say it's incorrect and here's the right answer. And this is just great formative assessment, good practice. They can do this at the end of class, especially if they have the iPads, or even if you're just in the computer lab. I've done this various times too there. Okay, so those are some of the basic functions as far as Quizlet. How about making your life easier? What if you wanted to create a set, okay, and let's say you already had a vocabulary list. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's a vocabulary list that I have, and it's called Las Frutas, that I've adapted to this. And what I wanted to do is I just want to be able to import this. I don't want to have to mess with it. I wanted to just immediately import it into Quizlet, so I don't have to mess around as far as inputting each one of the items, which could be really annoying, right? So I have a list here, and the only thing I need to do as far as to make sure that Quizlet reads this correctly is in Spanish we have el limón, which just means the lemon. But I don't want this to separate as 2 different words, so I just type it in just like I normally would. And so that Quizlet reads that my definition for el limón is lemon, what I've done here is I just tabbed over. I pressed the tab. So on Lima here, I tabbed over and I typed the word lime. On uvas, I tabbed over and put the word grapes in there. Durazno, tabbed over and typed the word peach. You notice the tabs are different in words, but it doesn't matter if the space is big or if it's little. As long as you just press tab there, it'll work. Tab over and press blackberry, or type in blackberry, and piña is, of course, pineapple. Okay, so if I have these words, I'm like, okay, what if I just want to go ahead and bring this list in? I just copied this. I can go like this. I'm going to right click, press copy, and I can go back to Quizlet. Let's see if I can get there real quick. Here we are. It says create a new study set. Let's call it Las Frutas again. Okay. And blah, blah, blah. I don't have to fill in the description. There's a little button called import data. Super easy to use. I'm going to click it. All right. Some weird stuff all kind of appears here, but basically right here it says copy and paste your data right here. I'm going to click in that area, and I'm going to paste the words that I just copied. And over here on the left bottom side, it's creating a preview of what it's going to look like once I've imported it down into here. Okay, I just have to press import. So you can see, oh, did it do it right? Oh yeah, it did. Look, limon, lemon, lima, lime. The way that it's separated these two is basically up here. It says between the term and the definition, I press tab. That's it. You could also do it with comma, or you could create your own thing, which I've never done because I just not that smart. So anyway, between the definition terms, so now I have them on different lines. I press import, and it should just bring them down into here. It did. Woo! For me, I'm going to change this to, I'm going to say this is Spanish words, these are English words. But for you, you probably just leave that the same. And then you just press save. And then done. It's created the list. So as long as I can copy and paste over, that's how easy to go ahead to be able to do that. So let's show you one more thing here. Let's go back to the Quizlet site. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to show you. What if, the only bad part about the Quizlet, by the way, is these ads. Look at this beautiful, different view, all the colors of that dress. So anyway, Quizlet sites, what if I just wanted to go ahead and, there's a vocabulary list out there already created for me. And as it said here, there is 30 million study sets already out there. So 30 million vocabulary lists of words already created. And I'm going to search by title. Okay. Since I've been doing frutas through the entire thing, let's type in frutas. Okay. I'll type in las frutas, and let's see what kind of stuff it finds me. All right, it found me 4,400 sets. Whoa, that's a lot of sets. Okay. I'm just going to use this first one. Okay, it says it comes from probably a book called Destinos, chapters 15 and 16. I've done this various times. I have a book. It's called Gente. Okay, and it's called, I'm going to put chapter 1, capítulo uno, chapter 1, vocabulary words from Gente. And it said, oh, I've found 5,000 sets. Well, some of them I already created, you can see here, but look at this one. Tays 1, 2, 3 created Gente capítulo uno, a chapter 1 guide to terms from chapter 1 of this Gente book that I use in my class. You could probably type in the name of your textbook here, the chapter, and probably be able to find them, being that there's 30 million study sets. Probably someone's already done the work for you. If you do find something like that, okay, like this one right here, I'm like, okay, let's look at that list. And I look down the list and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is exactly what I want. These are the words from that chapter 1 part of that book. I can go ahead and do something. I can just copy it or add it to my class. I can do both of those. Or add it to a folder. Right away, you can just put it into one of your classes. But I like to go ahead and sometimes manipulate the words. I don't like, maybe they put uno here and then see the one is like a little one. It's not capitalized. Or if something just, there's a word on there, you're like, I don't want to add the word quince on there or something. So how would you go ahead and use this, but you basically make it your own? I went ahead, and I'll show you what I just did here. I went to this more button over here, okay, and I clicked export. And all it's doing is it's creating a list of the words down here. It says copy and paste the text below. So I'm going to select them all. I'm going to right click and press copy. Okay. And I'm going to press create a new set. I'm going to make it my own. And I'm going to call it Gente Capítulo Uno. Right? Chapter 1 study guide, blah, 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 blah. And then I've already copied it. So now I need to import this data. I can just copy and paste it right into here. I just pressed Control V or paste, and it put all the words in there, and I press import. And the reason why I would want to do this with this step right here is because now I can go through the list and be like, I don't want to have the word quince on there. And look at this. I can press a little X button, and I can just remove that word. Bye-bye. Remove this word. Remove this word. I don't want that word. I don't want this word. And you could also go down to the bottom of your list and add more vocab words that you want to go ahead and add. So if the list doesn't work too much for you, then just export it and then bring it in as a quick import of your terms, and then press save, and then you can have it yourself. You can put it into whatever folder you want to go ahead and put it into, put it as part of a class, and then you have it. Okay. So let me just show you something. If I'm going to press save here, And it says you must choose a language. Okay, I gotta choose Espanol and English here. And then now let's press save. Okay, so it's saving it. So at this point, some people will be like, okay, so how do my students actually